Hi folks, here at the water's edge. I've been trying lure fishing for about 3 hours. Pike are reluctant. No nibble at all. I blame it on the ever-changing weather each day. We've been having strong winds, so water doesn't heat up really. Carp also don't bite, only stocker trout on occasion. Anyway, so I'm taking a chance to display my latest bunch of homemade lures. I've already taken standing pictures of them, and I'll give you some explanations on video, and finally a swim test. I hope I can do it here, because the underwater vegetation is shooting up. Anyway, here for example a wiggle lure or deep diving crankbait, Australian style, and I'll give you some close shots now and some explanation. Alright, here we've got a total of 23 new homemade lures. Most of them are made of wood, but some also of PVC decking. So let me zoom in now. These are the 3 of PVC decking, Australian style deep divers. I've painted these 2 in purple, because someone told me that sea trout would react to purple in the river. Okay, here's another deep diver minnow, another one Australian style. These are made of timber. And here a Bassorino knockoff, Lucky 13 knockoff, and here a lip plug. These 3 I've hand carved from a round pine wood timber dowel. Usually pine wood is a little bit too heavy for such lures, but I've had a piece of dowel which laid down the shop for about 20 years, so it was well seasoned and dry to the bone, so very buoyant. Okay, here 2 banana lures of pine wood. This one dives surprisingly deep, as I could figure out in the bathtub test, and when it was still in a blank condition. This small one actually had been laying around the shop for a few years as well before I finished it. Here 2 left-turned lures from abachi wood. From a poplar broomstick, not abachi. The wiggle lure. I like these lures very much because they cast a mile due to their streamlined shape. And you see the lip does not protrude downward the body, but goes rather straight forward, so doesn't resist a lot, doesn't offer a lot of resistance in the air, thus they cast very nice. This is a rather strange lure. Tested it in the bathtub and it didn't wiggle a lot, but what I did now, I placed a 7mm lead ball in the neck of it to render it more unstable, so I intend to use it as a diving jerkbait, not as much a wobbler, you know, just a rip and pause retrieve. I shall see whether it would work out. It did in the top, but with the weight taped on, now the weight is glued in, so this would change the action a bit. Here's a PN kit with screw-on aluminium lip. This one is a lure, squarish blank. I found this one on YouTube, so I thought I would make a knockoff and see how it works. Here's another striper bass plug style lure. I've already made a smaller one of this, which performs very good, especially on the rise. The feather tail would undulate, and the lure would have an Xing motion as it rises. It goes down just for 2 feet or so. Okay, here are some small crankbaits of abachi wood, and here again jointed plugs, hand carved from that pine wood dowel previously mentioned. They do not dive very deep because, as I said, the timber material was very buoyant. Okay, I guess I'm through with it. I'm going to give them a swim now. Alright. Alright, let's start with the Lockheed 13. Many of you would be familiar to it anyway. See, it floats quite high in the water. You jerk it. Oops, overturn, shouldn't do it too hard. Yeah, works nice. It requires some tow-eye tuning. You jerk it and retrieve for a few feet or yards and repeat. Yeah, works very nice. Yeah, if you do it too hard, it would get to lay on its side because the tow-eye sits quite high above the center. But this is what you want to get the wiggle. Okay, now I caught weed. Now the lip plug in a frog pattern. Wiggles very nice, you see. Doesn't dive too deep because of the buoyancy of this pine wood dowel. As I said, all lures require tow-eye tuning. But you see, this one wiggles very nice. Okay, I'm satisfied with it. So it's now the striper bass plug with the feathered tail. Just cast it in the weeds. Oh yeah, it works very nice, you see. Also might require tow-eye tuning. I wouldn't do this in front of the camera. Floats quite high. It's made of Meranti, last turned. Yeah, very nice wiggling action. You see, when it rises, the tail and undulating with the flashaboo sparkling. It's very nice. I'm very satisfied with this lure. Found it on YouTube and on Stripers Online. You see, you need to take care. Do not jerk it too hard, otherwise it will overturn. Take some time before the diving vein shoulders into the water overturns. Yeah, you have to be very careful. The first plug like this, I placed the tow-eye a bit lower. Oh yeah. You have to be careful with this thing. If you jerk it too hard, it will lay on its back. And such lures, they can't take any added ballast. They will lose their wiggling action. Yeah, gotta fish it carefully. Oh, that's alright. Very nice one. Okay. Next one, now comes the Versorino. Okay, I have to time to clip it into the snap. Here's the Bassorino. Yeah, typical Bassorino wiggle. Didn't expect nothing else from it. Bassorino, you jerk it under and it will pop up the very same spot. I've displayed Bassorinos in another video before, 1 or 2 years ago, so no problems with this one. Next one would be jointed plug. I'm having a tough time. The snap is too small of the okay, now I've got it. Snap of the lead is too small. Here, a jointed plug, pine wood dowel. See, it floats very high. So, but this is a nice wiggle. I like these vintage style plugs. They're easy to make, and as long as pike stays shallow, they are just deadly. You see, it pulls to one side, would also require toe-eye tuning. On the May 1st, I was using a similar plug in a very shallow pond, and I had a big pike attack it, but sadly it missed it. Okay, another jointed plug with a data face. You see, this one runs more. Okay, you don't have to jerk them too hard, because they do not have any ballast. Ballast spoils the wiggle of such lures, definitely. It's rather a wake bait, doesn't dive very deep. Very nice. Okay, I'm satisfied. And one more jointed plug. Last one, perch colored with a Bassorino face. Yeah, you see, the buoyant pine wood doesn't let it dive. It's a wake bait. Doesn't go down at all. Oh, but that's alright. For certain situations, it could be useful. Okay. Now, the big PN-Kid lure. PN-Kid, PN stands for Per Norman, which is a Swedish guy who introduced this lure by the end of the 1970s on a Swedish TV show. You see the lazy wiggle? That's nice. Pike like such action, I was told and I've read. So Per Norman Kid, it works with virtually any style of screw-on lip. Oh, very nice. PN-Kid. Hi folks, I did my lure video yesterday with the other camera, so I found out that halfway of the video the frame rate went down and the pictures became very poor, so I am going to cut the second section of this video from yesterday and display the lures again. I'm filming today with my other camera on the chest mount, so hopefully you could see something. Here's the banana lure. You see it wiggles very nice. I hope you could see something with this camera. The pinewood banana. I guess it should go down for 8 feet or something. I must be careful because it's quite shallow here. Alright, this one works pretty nice. Next one. Okay, here's the next lure. Small pinewood banana. I hope it works with this chest mount. Actually, I've never filmed any video with this. You see, it works pretty nice. Requires toe-eye tuning. Never found the time for it. Today, pike are reluctant again. Only had one pike strike the trout bait and bit off the leader, but they won't go on lures. This one requires to be retrieved very slow. I'm not 100% satisfied with it. It's easy to overturn and blow out. Now here's the wiggle lure. I've been fishing this one today for quite a while. I've tuned the toe eye, it tracks straight, and I'm sure it goes down to 10 feet. Has a very nice wiggle, as you can hopefully see. I like these lures because, due to their streamlined shape, they cast very well. Froggies are croaking again. Okay. Here's the second wiggle lure. I think the first models of these were made by Head-On during the 1920s, but I'm not very sure. You see, this one also wiggles very nice. I hope the camera catches it. It's a pity that the shallows here are full of weed, but on the other hand, if I would crank this lure down, you would not see it on camera, and I can't do underwater pictures here in the weeds. I would have done it. Someday I will do it. Alright. Okay, here's this strange lure that I found on YouTube. One American guy is making such lures, so I thought I would do my own version. See how it works. Very pronounced wiggle. Very pronounced wiggle. Has a self-centering line tie. Yeah. Very pronounced action this one has. Actually, it's having a little weird color design. Such I always do if I don't have no clue how to paint a lure. But obviously it does pull to one side, so this self-centering line tie doesn't function. Okay, it's fouled up. I would have to bend the lip. It's not quite straight, obviously. Alright? Now here's that lure that has a weight embedded into the neck that I said I want to intend to use as a jerkbait. You see, the wiggle is, well, wiggles a bit. Requires toe-eye tuning. So let's see how about the jerking action, but the weeds here are really disturbing. should work. I have to try it more thoroughly in a place without any weeds and which is deeper. But the action is nice so far. You know, the weight in the back brings the lure out of balance, so it's more apt to lay on its side. Okay. Now comes the deep diving lure of PVC decking. I'm sure I can't display it here because it digs down steep. Would catch weeds immediately. What you see, hope the camera captures it. If the rod doesn't cover the lens. It does work. Yeah. Would have loved to do underwater sequences, but it's not possible in this pond because all the banks all around, they look this way, shallow and covered with weeds. Now this lure is also nice. Going to use it in autumn for perch. Okay. Okay. Bright colored crankbait. I've made a few casts with this one as well. Didn't have to tune the toe eye, it tracked straight. Has a tighter wiggle and digs down, well, I'd say something between 13 and 15 feet. Performs well and casts very well. Nice lure this is. Okay. Now here is the larger one of those purple deep divers, Australian style. Yeah. Pulls to one side obviously, but nice wiggle it has. Have to adjust the toe eye as well. Oh, works very nice. Yeah. No complaints about this one. I'm satisfied. Now the smaller purple one. Oops. This one hunts. Nice wiggle and swims in an S-curve same time. So it hunts and down into the weeds. Okay. Also nice lure, satisfied with it. Works nicely. Another deep diver, Australian style, but this one's made of abachi wood. Yeah, also swims nice, pulls to the right. Have to adjust the toe eye before first time using it. Digs down steeply. Oh, no complaints about this one. I love those Australian style lures. Okay, small shallow diving crankbait. Abachi wood. Probably this would not be affected of the weeds now. You see, just runs below the surface. Weeds can't harm it too much. Swims nice. A little wake bait. Oops, the hooks are fouled. That's the problem with such small lures, that the hooks always tangle to one another. One more. Yeah, very nice. I'm satisfied. Okay. today. I hope I didn't forget one. Another Abachi wood, shallow diver. Yeah, very nice action. Goes down 4 to 6 inches, I suppose. Might even not require tow-eye tuning. Okay, that was the second attempt on filming my latest bunch of lures. Hope the video won't turn out too bad. Sorry for inconvenience, but I just intended to show you all of these lures out of the entire bunch. And as I said yesterday, half of the video the frame rate went down and didn't show all these crankbaits nicely. Okay, maybe I'll find time in the evening today to get the video on YouTube. I shall see. Goodbye. Okay folks, this was the lure test for today, and 2 dozens of lures. Hope it wasn't too boring to you. Next time I'll limit it to 10 or 12 lures, but the video would turn out too long. Hope you have got the patience to watch all. Maybe you would like to do your own versions of some of these lures, then feel free to contact me in the comment section here of YouTube. Thanks a lot for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.